Hi, I'm Petar and this is PetarSmiljana Qigong. Is sensing Qi really a placebo? Is Qi really a placebo? Is it is a feeling of Qi really something that we cannot discuss as something real or natural? Have you ever asked yourself what is the purpose of tingling and itching when you lay down on your on your side and your hand or arm fell asleep? When I was a child, I asked my parents what's the reason for this feeling, and they answered, well, it's the stagnation of blood, or you were pressing too long on your nerve and now your arm fell asleep. But I wasn't really satisfied with this answer, and I asked my friend, and he said, well, I also have these similar feelings. And we also had another experience while playing around home. For example, I punched myself in elbow or in my knee joint, and I felt the same thing as I was laying on my side, but this was momentarily feeling. So the answer wasn't really satisfying for me, and question remained even afterwards. I also asked my brother, who was, well, younger than my parents, obviously, but he was much older, and I thought, well, maybe he's really connected with the nature, since he's not so old and grown up, but he still didn't have any answer, or he answered me like my parents did. Well, my search continued afterwards when I was 17, and I started to get interested in energy medicine and energy and all these phenomena. And back then there was a lot of things that were not explained yet, and there was no terms and words to describe some things and phenomena which are now being described. I continued search for the answers, and of course the answer was energy. Energy was the answer, and the one thing that I didn't mention, but that I was also experiencing was actually I could feel emotions, and I could feel feelings, thoughts, frustration, I mean negative and positive emotions and feelings of other people, animals, even plants. I couldn't answer myself because there was nobody to talk to about these things. Oh, I thought so. Well, I didn't really ask anybody, but since every time I asked such a question, the answer was, this is a child's nonsense, or a childish imaginary thing that I made up. So I decided not to talk about it. But even though this sensitivity stayed with me, so I have it even today. When I was growing up in the puberty, I started to smoke, and then in the high school I used to drink a lot of alcohol, and before that I used to listen to music a lot. I was all the time having earphones on my head and listening to a loud music because I wanted to shut down these sensations and feelings. But actually working with this energy helped me a lot, and today I know the answers. I mean, I answered myself, what was this phenomena? Well, it was Qi. I mean, this sensitivity was only giving me the opportunity to realize what is the answer behind all of these experiences that I lived before. And well, the system didn't really, the system in which we live didn't really help me, because the system is based on objectivity and on proofs. But actually, the Qi is really hard to prove, since it is you cannot touch it and you cannot see it. You can sense it, but senses are also sort of something that our science would say it doesn't exist actually. But it does exist. But only our science didn't come to realize it yet. Science actually nowadays talk about energy and fields and energy fields and especially quantum physics. But we are moving, well, slowly but gradually, like in Qigong. And this is a Qigong vlog, so be patient with me. I'm new in this field. I mean, new in the English talking. It's about 20 years since I started doing energy work and started to get interested in energy work. And it's been quite a journey for me. When I was leaning down on the side, I was actually not, well, maybe I was pressing down a blood and I was pressing on a nerve, but the main thing that I was pressing on was Qi meridian. And when I hit a spot on my elbow or on my ankle, actually I hit a spot which is on energy meridian, and maybe the stagnation in energy meridian stopped and the Qi started to flow. And I was actually, as I remember it then, I was really happy when this sensation came. I was really enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it today, don't get me wrong, but then it was something new for me. And every new feeling, and even continuing, you know, if I for example, if I hit it two times at the same spot, the second time or the third time this sensation didn't repeat itself. So I knew that there was something else, and today I know that it is a Qi. So let's get back to placebo. What is placebo? Placebo is something. Placebo is described as something that deceives your mind and acts as it was real, but there is nothing to be real because there is nothing to feel or something. For example, homeopathic remedies work like placebos. You don't have nothing inside, only the information is contained. Well, for example, what is the I can say that placebo is something the most beautiful that can happen to you, since it deceives your rational mind and frees your mind, so you can saddle it and you can ride it like your horse or your canoe, which is its purpose in your life, to ride it on through your life and through your experiences as a soul being. As I said, the placebo is the most beautiful thing that can happen to you. Placebo is love. Placebo placebo is joy, placebo is are all the emotions that you experience, placebo is actually placebo are your thoughts. You might say that placebo is 90% of your experience, and can you imagine you are actually 90% or even more doesn't really exist. May the Qi be with you.